Right, a great good evening to you wherever you find yourself. You're welcome to the first Capital Plus Premier League show on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. I'm George Addo Jr. and there's a lot to talk about tonight. We are looking at what happened over the weekend in the first Capital Plus Premier League. Some very exciting wins. Amedias Professionals picked up a win there. Liberty Professionals are going very strong since they returned to the Carl Park. Plus, we'll be looking at coaches who are likely to get the sack. Indeed, we know that Shaibu Tanko was fired by Amedias Professionals, and Professor J.K. Minter as well decided to leave the Botswana Dwarfs. Now, Coach Jay Sapon is in charge. Indeed, he played his first game today. It was a draw game. We're going to be talking about all of this. I'm sure you want to tell us some things about what you make of the first Capital Plus Premier League. You can do so on the short code 1760. Let's hear from you. There's a lot to talk about tonight. Do not touch do not go anywhere. Just stay there. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll get into all the issues. All right, thanks for staying there. Still the first Capital Plus Premier League show. A lot to talk about tonight. I was just telling you. Let's hear from you. I think our line's already buzzing. 1760. Let's hear from you, whatever it is. Accra Hartsville fan, Kotoko fan. Let's find out what you make of it. Kotoko up to 5 defeats of the season already after they lost to Liberty Professionals. In the studio to join me, do the discussion tonight is Coach Ebenezer Sifa. He's one who has traveled a lot in this league, knows a lot about it. Even for some time, he was working as a scout for Coach Maxwell Kunedu, who had to pick the bunch of his players for the Chan tournament in South Africa from the league. So he's definitely a student of the league and he understands everything about the league. And he's going to join us tonight on the show. Coach Eben Sifa, thank you very much for joining me this evening.
Thank you very much.
Okay, he says he prefers that I just call him Coach Eben, so we'll just do it Eben. I think that goes on. Coach, we'll first of all talk about what happened today in terms of the outstanding games, match day 20 outstanding games of the first Capital Plus Premier League. First point, of course, should be Bechem United. They drew goalless with Berekum Chelsea. What that does to them at the moment is that Bechem United are now in the top 4 of the league. What a story that keeps on unfolding. Coach Tom Strand, 32-year-old Tom Strand, he's supposed to be the youngest coach in the league at the moment. Yeah. He's also a Swede, and he's doing very well since he came in the second round. He's just lost 1 game. What has the story been for Bechem United? Now they're in the top 4.
Well, thank you very much. And I think Bechem is doing well because they have youthful players in the team. They have guys who were used to play for Kumasi Asante Kotoko reserve team when Coach Maxwell Kunedu was there. Likes of Augustin Okra, Stephen Asamoah, who used to captain the Kotoko reserve team when Maxwell was there. And they were being handled by Coach Wellington, who is now with Dreams FC of Kotoko. Yeah. So Bechem has youthful players, and I think they are playing one of the best footballs games in the league.
What would you have to say about their coach Tom Strand? Because indeed he came in at a time when they had lost Bogdanovic. Then they had lost Bogdanovic to Aduana Stars under some bizarre circumstances in terms of all that happened. If you remember, there were issues about he didn't have a contract with Bechem United, so he was allowed to go to Aduana Stars. And Albert Comey, who is now the CEO of Aduana Stars, fashioned that pretty very well. What has been the input of Coach Tom Strand on this particular team?
I think his backroom staff have worked a lot. And I think we have to give them the credit because they have the likes of the Listo Yesu Bukas and Formula of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And the rest of the guys out there are really giving the coach what Bechem is. And with the kind of players that they have, the mental toughness of the players and the attitude of the players have really helped home. And I think that we have to give the backroom staff a plus.
I think when you make a point about saying that we have to give the backroom staff the plus, it just brings to mind that they have signed a contract with Fina Sports, with former Dr. Keke Sapong of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. He says not going to deal anything with football, but he's actually the owner of that. And that even goes a long way to say that. But maybe we should pick on some of the players right now, because one striker in Bechem United, who I can say is a great part of their season, Augustine Okra, that's a young man. He's been at Asante Kotoko, he's been at Liberty Professionals, but we didn't see him come to life now after 9 goals and right behind Seydou Bansi in the league. What has been the story for Augustine Okra?
Yeah, Okra used to play for Red Bull Academy when Maswell Kunedu came to Kotoko, and Maswell brought him to Kotoko because when Maswell was at Red Bull, the boy was there, and Maswell know the kind of player Augustine Okra is. I happened to be in Kotoko when Maswell was there, and I know the kind of player Augustine Okra is. Unfortunately, the top 2 Super 2 Kotoko played with Accra Suffolk. That was his first major game for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and he didn't fare badly, but I think there were a lot of players in the team. To talk about the Ambetouris, talk about Bene Champon, and Nathaniel Samoa, and the rest. So it was difficult for him to break into the squad. But he's got a lot of talent, a lot of good things in the boy. Unfortunately, he couldn't do well the first and second season. So when Didi took over, he decided to loan him to Liberty Professionals. And I think he didn't fare badly, and he came back to Kotoko. Unfortunately, I was surprised when I heard Kotoko has given his card to him to go. You understand? And today, I can tell you that he is the finest player in our Premier League, the first Capital Plus League that we are playing today. He is the finest player, I think the best player at the moment. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Augustine Okra is just certainly one that we're looking out for. And he's really come up with a lot of interesting plays and all of that. And he was just telling us that he had some little problems with injury, especially when he went to Liberty Professionals. And that goes to say we really have to take care of our players when they're injured. Because if Augustine was not able to give Liberty what he's doing now, and he says it's because of injury, that's a sad story.
Yeah, but I think apart from Kumasi Asante Kotoko, who has got their bench with the full staff of the medical team. Talk about Dr. Boatin, they've got the physio of Newton, they've got his nurse and his major assistants. How many of the clubs that they are playing the local league, the major Premier League, have these doctors on the bench? Let me use Kotoko for example because I've been there.
Yeah.
You know, it comes to a point where Dr. Boatin will call a player and tell you, look, I don't want you to train for 2 weeks. And by doing that, he contacts the coach first. You understand? He contacts the coach first. Tells the coach that this is the problem of the player, and I'm monitoring the player, and I think the player has to be off for 2 weeks. The coach having his program, they discuss it, and you understand that the fitness of the players over there is on a high level. What about the other clubs? So this is what I think most of the clubs have to do, and which is going to help them. Yes, Augustine Okra, major injuries. I don't know what happened at Liberty, but he sees himself as a very good player, and a little advice from people around, like as we talk about Dr. Keke Sapong, formerly board chairman of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, now being with Bechem. He knows the boy. The boy was under him, and he knows what the boy can do. And for me, if you have quality players, you need to have quality medical team on your bench.
Well, that's the story of Bechem United. They are currently 4th on the table, and it's a story that keeps on building. And Tom Strachan is a very excited coach, very happy about it. But we'll now talk about Berekum Chelsea, who have found their way now to the 8th position on the table. We know what the story was for them, especially whilst they were in Africa. It was pretty bad. They were down, very down. And Coach Tony Loco has managed to put the magic together, and they've all of a sudden been moving up there. What has the story been so far for Berekum Chelsea?
I think Coach Loco is doing very well. His days with Mayuv coming to Amidas, and we all knew what he did with Amidas when he was there, very as the head coach. Right. Going to Berekum Chelsea. Chelsea had quality players like the Abdul Basit, the skipper. You talk of Obed Owusu, Eric Ajimai, Aferata, and the likes. At point they had Eric Bequin, formerly the Goal King of Ghana League, and then of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They had Sadiq Addo, formerly of AshGold, and also he was playing in Spain before he came down. They have a lot of quality players, matured players. Well, he came in and he said, look, I need the young guys to do this job. So he decided to blend the young guys with Jackson Osu. He has been the oldest player in the team from the Division 1 to this time. He's consistency with this player. And then they have the player like Gabriel Ayala, a very wonderful young player. And they have an experienced player in the person of Yao Alexander. He has also been there for a very long time. They have Benjamin Boateng and the likes. So I think Coach Loco is blending. And I won't be surprised, come next season, Berekum Chelsea is going to be a difficult team to beat.
Well, very easy to say that because they are playing a fantastic football so far as they're concerned, and the surge has been up. But you look at the beginning of the season, it didn't look very well. It looked like there were some problems, and a lot of that had been attributed to the fact that the owner of the club wasn't around. There was no money flowing. But can I also say that maybe with the First Capital Plus coming in, you know, money is beginning to flow and the boys are beginning to settle, and that's how come they've been able to win a number of games to move all the way from where they were, 15th position. Now they are 8th on the table.
Now you see, when you have a team that you have big guys in the team, you talk of Bismarck Aidan, a big player, a huge player. Without money, is he going to play? You have Obed Usu, Abdul Basit. Yes, the commitment is there. Are they going to play? This coach came in, and he's a young guy. He's a young coach. I've worked with him before. You understand? And how is he going to control the dressing room? And if you're a coach and you cannot control your dressing room, that is where you have problems. So he decided to go in with the young guys. And I remember very well when he took over, I think the CEO of the club, Nana Obeda.
Chairman.
Yeah, no, Obeda.
Okay.
I mean the CEO
okay.
Nana Obeda and so whatever.
Yeah.
He came out to say that, look, they are going to build a team. You understand? They are going to build a team. That is the main reason why people thought that they were not going to do anything in Africa. They didn't focus so much on Africa. On Africa. Okay. But they wanted to build a team. They gave themselves some time, and this is the fruit of it. Well, it didn't start well. During the second one, he went in for young guys like the Ayalas and the Benjamin Boateng and the likes, and they are blending very well. You understand? Yeah. So I think that they are doing very well, and they have their plan. Do you understand? Yeah. They are putting structures down, which is going to help Berekum Chelsea in the next 2 seasons to come.
So definitely Berekum Chelsea should be looking like a very good club going ahead in this particular league. And we'll be paying close attention to them. I'm not too sure what the targets will be for Berekum Chelsea at this point. Are they hoping to be in the top 4? Obviously, cannot be winning the title.
Winning the title is
out.
It's out.
Kotoko are winners, we understand.
I don't think so.
Oh, you think? Okay, we'll get to that.
I don't think
We'll get to that. Let's stay with that. But how far do you think Berekum Chelsea can go in this?
Well, it depends on the couple of matches that they have. Okay. You know, it depends on the opposition too. Yes, they are capable of being the top 4. Why not?
Why not?
Because when you look at the points difference,
it isn't match. There are some four points.
Yes, so I think that doing their homework very well, winning their home matches, going away, trying to win a point out there, they can get into the top 4.
Right. Let's talk about the Botswana Dwarfs. They also drew 1-1 with Aduana Stars in Wa. Now, what does this result actually mean for Botswana Dwarfs now? It gives them just a point. They're still at the foot of the table. The crucial thing about Botswana Dwarfs, if you've been following, is that Professor J.K. Minta, who has been with the club for a while, decided to walk away after the incidents of what happened in the Confederations Cup. They went all the way to play Pedro Atletico in Angola. Now, there's a new coach in the person of Coach J. Sapon, you know very well. And today, he drew 1-1. Change of the club, 1-1. What do you make of that?
I'm not surprised, because you look at Botswana Dwarfs, the exit of Professor Menta, and I have a problem with the assistant coach who is Rashid Idi. Rashid Idi. He has been in the team for a very long time. I remember 2-3 seasons ago when Seydou Bansi and the Bismarck Asiedu were in the helm of affairs of Botswana Dwarfs, when they have the Insiedu, John Arthur in the team. Botswana Dwarfs was the difficult team to beat in an away game.
And what you're talking about is not far away. This is only as back as just last season or last 2 seasons.
So what I'm saying is that if Professor Menta is not there, what is the assistant coach doing? Do you understand that?
Coach, even to be fair to them, both of them had national duties. Rashid Idi was the assistant coach for the Black Queens, wasn't it? Professor J.K. Minta as well was with the Black Stars, the psychologist.
No, but what I'm saying is that when they went to Angola, who went with them? Rashid went with them. And most of the matches, Rashid sit on the bench. Yeah. Happy to watch most of their matches. What I'm asking is that, yes, Prof is the head coach. So what do you take from the head coach? Do they have the same philosophy? Or if the head coach is not there, the assistant coach decides to play whatever he also wants to do? And it happens in a lot of the clubs. Yeah. Do you understand? Yeah. You see, so it's something that we need to address. Dwarfs going to play a 1-1 draw. I'm not surprised. They went to Takwa to play Mediama and they lost.
That's right.
And it was a difficult game for them, coming back to Cape Coast, traveling all the way to Wa. And Wa Stars went to Bechem and they lost. So I thought they were going back to the drawing board with Coach Jimmy, the helm of affairs. And he believes that football is about running. That is his philosophy. Football is about running. So if his players can run for 120 minutes, they can do the job. I don't know what happened. were the likes of Paul Asari, the Breeze, the chap who just returned from
scoring well. He's looking from China as well. He's looking very good on the goal scoring.
Of course,
currently third on the goal scoring.
And they have the likes of Kofi Yabua, an offensive great midfielder. You understand? They have Michael Mensah, formerly of Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
So for you are disappointed that Wild Stars didn't win the game?
I'm not disappointed. What I'm saying is that I was surprised. Because, no, I'm not disappointed. I'm surprised because the likes of what Wild Stars went to Pando to do. You understand? Going to the Lions then to play so much. I'm not taking anything away from Dwarfs. And per what I realized, or where I saw Dwarfs played in Takwa and a couple of games and the kind of problems that they had. Coach Jay Sapon has been an experienced coach. We all know Coach Sapon.
Of course.
Great Olympics, Oko United,
he's an act. But Coach, just to hold you there, we'll have now on your screens the results of match day 21 of the First Capital Plus Premier League. So you just have a look at it as we'll be going through it. But you're still making the point about Jay Sapon getting hold of the Botswana Dwarfs team. You expect him to do something new then?
You see, that has been his record, his style. When the club is under the league table, he just pick the clubs, and he does well. Let's hope this time he does it with Botswana Dwarfs. It's not too late for Botswana Dwarfs. They can fight back. And I heard their captain, Stephen Addo, granted an interview saying that, look, the players has come together and they want to fight. That was prior to the game against Mediema, and they lost. So I think they made amends by going to Wa.
and getting the draw. It should be a good result through the lenses of Coach Jay.
So they're coming back to Robert Mensah. I think they have a lot of things to offer their fans.
All right, we'll have a look again at the results on your screen now, so we can just pick out some of the outstanding results. I mean, in terms of the results that really caught the eyebrow. And Liberty Professionals, what at all is at the Karendorf Park, the Alajislai Tete Park? What is there? Because since they moved there, they have won the 2 games consecutive. They beat Hazakes, who Ako said was an informed side, and they beat leaders, Asante Kotoko. What's happening there at the Karendorf Park?
You see, I'm not Liberty Professionals is a team. You know, when you go to Karendorf, that is where they train. They train early in the morning, and you could see the kind of training George Lamte and Felix Abuaji is giving the boys. And their skipper, I'm talking about Alfred Nelson, returning from the Chan
as well. Fantastic
He came with an injury, and he was not playing. They had the likes of Kennedy Ashia, who after the Under-20 World Cup at Turkey, he had a short stint in Norway. And he coming back. They have Okodia, Michael Apia from Deportivo, Asokwa Deportivo from Kumasi. They have Joseph Mensah, a fantastic offensive midfielder. And I didn't know what was happening to Liberty Professionals since they begin to win. You know, their loss to Interallies was a surprise to a lot of people.
Big surprise.
But forgetting that Interallies they are having about 5 of the African the tournament that was held here in Ghana, I mean in Kumasi, the Waffle tournament. Talk of Kabori from the Burkina Faso squad. That's right. They have the striker from the Senegalese team. They have a great midfielder in the person of another Kabori who plays for who comes from Mali. Do you understand?
So some very great guys.
Do you understand?
No
so
surprise.
Coach Herbert Addo is trying to blend these boys together. They have the likes of Prosper Kasim, a wonderful chap who is doing so well. They have youthful players, and you'll be so much in love to see them play. So I think that Liberty Professionals is doing well. The comeback of Kennedy Ashia, the comeback of Alfred Nelson did the trick for them. They have Latif, who is in the national under-20 team, doing so well, a defensive midfielder who is so versatile. So I think Liberty Professional is not a bad side. Beating Kumasi Asante Kotoko, for me, it's no news.
It's no news. It's not a flash in the pan. It's just according to the form they have. Let's have the table right now. We'll have the table on your screen so you can do it. We've updated the table so that you understand what the changes have been right now. On your screen now, the table of the First Capital Plus Premier League, just in case you're not too sure what's happening. And there you have it staring our face. Bechem United up there with 31 points. They are 4th on the table. Amazing. Mediema SC also there with third on the log. Very interesting. I'm going to allow Coach to talk about Mediema SC as well. And Berekum Chelsea, that's the first half of the table. Very exciting. We'll look at the other half of it. But what is the case with Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and have they lifted their foot off the gas? Has it gotten into their minds they've already won this?
I don't think
or it's really because the results are not coming and they have met very good teams?
I don't think so. Kotoko is playing well. And the other clubs are also doing very well. It's a matter of taking your chances. And mind you, Kotoko have the likes of Seydou Bansi, they have Michael Ekufu. Unfortunately, Yaya Mohammed is not playing because of the issues that is happening with the club. Right. They have Richard Impong, they have Prince Bafo. These guys are very good.
Great guys.
And per the first run, Kotoko did so well in the first round. And by now, the clubs have been able to steady Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
Okay. The
back four of Kotoko, you have either Bonnie or Amos Frimpong. You have either Eric Donko or Ben Adama. The likes of Kabredu say, Berekum Chelsea, or him bringing the skipper.
So it's well ahead.
You understand? It's well ahead. So it depends on what the teams have seen of Kotoko.
And you expect
I watched Kotoko against Kingfisher in Kumasi, and I was so much in love with Kingfisher's Prince Boateng.
That's right. An
exceptional player. He made sure the Kotoko defense worked. On 2 occasions, Kotoko had to clear the ball from the goal line. Unfortunately for them, they had a late goal.
That's right.
The 93rd minute. Telling that Kotoko is beatable. So it depends on what the team does before you face Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
Point well made there. Let's talk about AshGold. We said beginning, AshGold had real issues. Bashir Hayford was asking. He ran out of ideas and said that, I don't know what again to do with this, my voice. Everything is the same, except you're not getting the wins. Finally, they got a win this weekend. How important is that to Bashir Hayford?
It's very important to not Bashir Hayford alone. I think to the playing body and to the management of AshGold. It was amazing to see AshGold have the likes of Emmanuel Bafo, former goal king.
Former goal king, and they have some great players.
They have
Lawrence Tete and all, right?
Didier Corey, this Ivorian. They have Lawrence Latte. They have Francis Eje from Division 2, who was in the Chan squad, but unfortunately he was dropped. They have Emmanuel Osei, a great player from Deportivo, who has played for Wild Stars, who has played for Liberty Professionals. And you find it difficult and they have a great goalkeeper in the person of Robert Dabo, once in the national team. And for me, I don't know what is happening to AshGold, and their coach is now the head coach of the Maidens.
Of the Maidens?
Oh, no, of the Princess. So how is he coping? Does he have a divided attention?
Do you think that's the problem?
I don't think so.
It doesn't look like
it's possible. If I mean, it's possible. Does he have time to train? Does he have time to concentrate?
Coach, we'll be getting into the coaches and how bad they're doing, but let's have a look once again at the final part of the table. Okay, so that's what you have. And Aduana Stars out there. And I'm wondering what's happening to Coach Bogdanovic over there. It's 20 points just right beneath Inter Allies. Very important to note the progress of Inter Allies at this point. 21 points, and they're looking very good and looking like they can get out of this. They still have some 5 points between themselves and Kim Faisal, who have played quite well. Liberty Professionals, these are teams that are running out of this. I mean, Dial's also got a win over there. But, Coach, let's just talk about Aduana Stars and their performances before we switch into talking about the coaches and all. Aduana Stars, what is wrong with Aduana Stars? Because they had a lot of restructuring, didn't they? Albert Comey is their great guy, has worked with a number of clubs, including Mediama SC, Accra Hartsville. He's now at the helm. They have a good coach, was doing well at Bechem United. So what's wrong with them?
What about the playing body?
Tell me about them.
You see, Aduana have a squad that has been there since they came into the Premiership, when they were being handled by Coach Herbert Addo. The first time in the Premiership, they won the league. They went into Africa. And the likes of Stephen Adams was there. You have Godfrey Saka, he was there. You have Samuel Asiru, the skipper, he was there. They have Daniel Dakwa, he was there. Emmanuel Allen was there. Emmanuel Kuokun was there.
So what happened?
All these guys are there. And for me, what I think is that I think Aduana need to revamp their squad. For them to play for 5 good seasons. Every season they does.
I think this is a wonderful analysis you're giving us right now. They have been playing for 5 seasons. Nothing has changed at the club in terms of the playing body.
Of course.
And you're suspecting that they need to quickly overhaul and do something well.
For me, if you ask me, what I'm saying is that, for instance, Godfrey Saka, if Godfrey Saka is in Aduana today, is the coach going to sit him down?
I'm not sure. He's not.
Is Stephen Adams going to be on the bench?
He's not going to be.
Is Samuel Asiru going to be on the bench?
If he's not on card, the likes will not be on.
If he's not on card, is he going to be on the bench?
They will all play.
Is Setopari going to be on the bench?
No.
He nearly went to Mediama. It never happened. He came back. He's still playing. I'm not saying they are bad players. They are wonderful players. Emmanuel has been in and out of Aduana, and he's still playing. So when you watch Aduana play, you see, they need youthful players among them. Look what Chelsea is doing. Although their position on the league table is not that encouraging.
But even 8th is an improvement.
But they are doing well. Look at Inter Allies. Look at Mediama. You watch Mediama. I think Carlos Poulet is doing a great job at Mediama. You see the likes of Kofi Jare, a great player from Accra Suffolk, coming to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. You have Michael Hellegbe, Ebenezer J from Wild Stars, who is coming. Kwame Boahen, his time with Liberty, he won 13 MVP in the league. They have the God bless us Samoa, and they have Anoba and the rest in the team.
I think
and
you
they
are
playing so well.
You are enlightening us and giving us that idea.
They need, for me, Aduana need these young ones to blend with these guys,
right,
and they'll do the trick for them.
Coach, let's hold it there. We'll get back to Aduana Stars story and everything that's happening right now. But down though, let's look at the goal scoring chart and who are up there. Seydou Bansi for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, still doing a fantastic job, isn't he? But we have to talk about that guy, the young man we spoke about at the beginning of the show, Augustine Okra of Bechem United, up there with 9 points. Now, Paul Asari, the delight of everybody. We want to see him score some more goals for a while. Stars. He didn't score today. He has 8 goals. Samuel Yeboah of Hatta Lions, returning 7 goals. He has Richard Yamwa of Hazakes as well. We'll also give you the First Capital Plus Premier League news. That'll be rolling on your screens right now. Just getting that for you. Alhaji Gruza is in the news, and well, he hasn't done anything, but there's actually a movie right now, a local movie, Alhaji Gruza, and it's Gruza Part 1 and 2. Very interesting. I put this one in just so we can laugh about it, but it's very interesting. The local movie guys are really getting into a lot of stuff, and this is a movie that's actually the main character is behaving like Alhaji Gruza as a football administrator and all of that. So you want to try and get that? Well, this is free advert because it happens to be in the First Capital Plus Premier League. That's exactly it. So all the things that Alhaji Gruza is doing, he's finally got a movie. I hope Alhaji Gruza, if you're watching us from Kumasi, you're going to get this one and watch and find out what all of this is about. Let's look at the next slide in terms of Premier League news for you. Okay, Coach Lamte says that the return to the Dansuma Park is the magic. And you were talking about it. I hope they have not planted anything there, and that's how come they're winning the games. But I think you made a point.
I don't think so, because Liberty has been training there, and they've been playing so well. You know, Liberty is a smaller club, bringing Liberty to the Accra Sports Stadium or Kumasi Sports Stadium to play the likes of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Kotoko will definitely beat them. Kotoko have the character in playing at this big stage. But over there,
they don't have it. So no surprise there. Coach Lamte doing a fantastic job there for Liberty Professionals. Let's look at our next slide right now. We'll pick our next slide for you in terms of news from the First Capital Plus Premier League. And what's it? Okay, Emmanuel Hayford is going to be out for a month for Hearts of Oak. Later on, when we're looking at Coach Mohamed Polo, what he needs to do, this is a serious blow for Accra Hearts of Oak. Selassie J has not been coming up with the goods, has he? And now you have Emmanuel Hayford. He was held by Eric Kumi somehow, but this guy is going to be out for a month.
Yeah, it's a big blow to Accra as a folk. He's a great player and someone I respect so much. He's got a very good drive.
Nasty tackle there by Kabiru Morris.
Not necessarily nasty, happened maybe. To be at the stadium at that time. I was so close to the MD of Accra as a folk and a group of supporters of Accra as a folk. Yeah. And it was a corner kick. I don't blame the referee, but I blame the assistant referee.
You should have seen it.
It was a corner kick. And the two players were struggling. And it seems Hayford pushed Kabiru Moro, or he hit him or something. Okay. And Kabiru also turned and Kabiru punched him. The assistant referee saw it, but the referee didn't see it. So the referee went to the assistant referee and what the assistant referee told the referee.
He took a decision.
He took a decision by giving Kabiru Moro a yellow card. And if Hayford had returned onto the pitch, I think he had also had a yellow card. Per what the assistant referee told it.
Right, I get the picture.
So I think that
once you were there, you were giving us the picture. Assistant referee didn't do the right thing. Of course, he didn't. That was a punch.
Of course, Kabiru Moro deserved a record. If he had told the referee what happened, Kabiru Moro deserved the record. All right. But unfortunately, he went away with it.
Coach, let's look at this, the final one for our slides. Professor Minta, okay, we know he's not only left the club, but he's also blessing the union of J.E. Sapong and Dwarfs. That shows a coach who has a good heart, despite everything. He says that he's hoping that J.E. Sapong does a fantastic job.
He's a professor. He's a psychologist.
So the professor should know a psychologist.
He's a psychologist.
That's right.
He knows what he's doing.
That's
and he is not in the helm of affairs today. Doesn't mean that he's not going to help Dwarfs.
That's right.
He's going to help them.
Yeah.
I told you, Rashid Idi needs to back up. He has been there for 4 years, 5 years. If Professor Minta is not there, what did he? Because the likes of John Atta, you understand? They have John Atta, Steve Edu, Atukwe is there. They have Richard Gaze, one of the finest strikers in the league. These guys are there. What are you doing? Is it the same system that Professor is doing? Is it the same style? Is it the same tactics? If Professor is not there and we are playing a different tactics, then I don't know what way. Because they should have a system.
They should be playing.
Of course, if Didi Dramani is not in Kotoko today, I believe Michael Osei will do the job. Because the boys are there. If Carlos Poulet is not there, Coach Addo will definitely do the job. Or Bugri will do the job.
That's right. So clearly there you're saying the Rashid Idi has a lot to do over there. Now, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we're talking about the coaches, the possible coaching casualties. We've had a lot. Only the last weekend we had 2 coaches being shown the door. Well, one opening the door, the other being shown the door. You know, Shaibu Tanko being shown the door, and of course, Professor Minta actually opening the door and getting out. We'll take a short break. When we come back, a lot to talk about on the First Capital Plus Premier League show. All right, so thanks for staying there with us. Now time to talk about the coaching situations we have right now in the First Capital Plus Premier League. Well, first of all, start with Coach Mohamed Polo of Accra Hearts-Civil. What has the story been for him? Before I invite Coach Eben Sefa into this discussion, we'll have on your screen what it has been for Coach Mohamed Polo. There you have it. What has he so far? 5 losses, 3 draws, 1 win for Coach Mohamed Polo. It was a sweet win against Amida's Professionals at Accra Sports Stadium. One that, I mean, Accra Hearts-Civil looked like, you know, the team in terms of the attacking and all. But let's talk about Mohamed Polo. What sort of a coach has he been so far since he took over?
It's difficult for Polo, and I think that Accra Hearts-Civil needs, or Polo needs help. Polo needs help. I watched them against Amidas, and I was impressed. And even the game against Mediema in Takwa was far, far better than what they did in Accra. And they went to Kumasi to play Kingfisher, and it was appalling. It was appalling.
So there's no consistency in the team.
Of course. And I find it difficult to see Accra Hearts-Civil play the 4-1-4-1 system at home.
They're trying to sit, they're trying to play.
And go to play away, you play the 4-1-4-1, trying to defend or try to do what? I was so much in love with this boy, Berekum boy, excellent young player. They have youthful players who are very good. How do you blend them? And I can tell you for a fact that this Ivorian Rubin guy is not a centre back. He's a midfielder. He was at Red Bull. When you see him play, when you see him surge forward. And before I go to this Polo issue, when it comes to this First Capital Plus Premier League, when you take Coach Didi Dramani, who has been in Kotoko for 2 seasons, George Lamke 2 seasons and above, and then coming off Edubiasi, who has also been there for 2-3 seasons.
I think
the rest of the
coaches moving in and out.
2 months, 3 months off here and there. You talk of Tanko of Amidas, sending him away. For me, the game that they lost to Accra Hearts-Civil, I put the blame on the goalkeeper.
Okay, before we come to that, let's stay with that because Tanko is going to be up next. But let's talk about Mohamed Polo. And with Mohamed Polo, what needs to be done? We're told, yes, that something is happening in terms of the backroom stuff. A number of the guys have been taking off the backroom stuff. Beneje is no more, and now he is taking in, you know, guys like former players like
Vida and then
Amankwa Berekum and all of that. Is that going to bring a new air about the club?
It depends on how they understand the game. It depends on how they understand the game. You know, when it doesn't mean that when you play football, you can become a good coach. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
He's a former player. Maybe he can work better with a former player.
If I come to your studio every morning, that means that I can sit behind the set and then do the program?
Certainly not.
I have to learn. I have to study. You understand? I have to learn. I have to study. When you go to Kotoko, for instance, they have the lives of Ernest Apel, Kofi Abri, Prince Edupoku, Gordian Bloody, all these guys, Gariba and the rest, Karim Zito and the rest, Michael Osei, all these guys, and they are learning, they are studying. Professor Menta, he's a professor, he's learning.
Do you see Coach Mohamed Polo being sacked from Accra Hearts-Civil very soon?
I won't be surprised.
Does it look like they're working and getting themselves ready to sack him in terms of changing the backroom stuff? That's how it normally starts.
Well, I think it was his directives that the backroom staff were changed. I think Amankwa Berekum is coming as the welfare manager and then Bendida as the goalkeeper trainer. So what about his assistant? His assistant manager is gone, so there's no assistant. At the moment. And I think that every good coach should have a very good assistant. In terms of substitutions, in terms of tactics, he can stay behind. And then, and you see, you need to team up. You need to have the same philosophy. If your assistant doesn't believe in your philosophy or your system, how is it going to work? It's never going to work. Accra Hearts-Civil, they've got a good and young, talented players. Duncan is gone, and Duncan is not coming back.
So they have to move on.
They have to move on.
And you feel that very soon we might have Polo out of his job?
I said I won't be surprised.
You won't be surprised. There we go. Let's talk about Professor J.K. Minta then of the Buswan Dwarfs. So you know the story definitely then. You know now Jay Sapo is in charge. But that's what he was doing. And well, for some time the results didn't look too good. If you look at it, Professor J.K. Minta didn't look too good. There you have it. 3 losses, 2 draws, yes, no win. You know, you're talking about how many games? Last 5 games for Professor Minta before he left. It wasn't certainly good at the time. Was it good? Is it good that he's moved and allowed Jay Sapon to get into this? I
think so. He's the psychologist of the senior national team, the Black Star.
So what was going wrong? Because he needs to put his voice into the right, psyche to play games.
That's why I'm saying that it's possible he does not have time for the team. It's possible he does not have time for the team.
But he said time and time and again, I have no problems in combining my job with the national team and with the club side. And the question to him was, then why is your club side not doing well?
So why was he not at Angola? If he can combine the two, why was he not at Angola?
Oh, he says that they didn't give him, he had told them that he was going to come back to Accra and they were supposed to give him a ticket. When he came back, he didn't need a ticket. He felt that the management wanted to get him out of this. The reason why he's probably not interested in the job anymore.
So that's what I'm saying. He's good, he's gone. He's good, he's gone. So he can concentrate with the senior national team, the Blaster. They have an equally good coach like Coach Sapon. If the backroom staff of Dwarfs is going to support Coach Sapon, going to help him, and the players are going to understand Coach Jay Sapon, why can't they make it? They have a very good team. You talk of Kingsley Ntin, a Kotoko player known to Dwarfs at the center, pairing with Vincent Atinga at the back, doing so well. Jonathan has been there for a very long time. Atukwe, they have Lukman in the team, playing so well. We see Richard Gaze up front, excellent player. Ricky J. Mensah in midfield, yeah. A powerful player. I don't see why Dwarfs cannot play.
So one of the lovely chap, Atukwe
is so doing well, but sometimes he plays to the gallery.
Yeah, that's right.
You understand?
Sometimes
he plays to the gallery. And some of the players too are not mentally toughness. They don't have the mental toughness. Okay, situation on
Professor J.K. Minta, he just makes the point clearly, Coach Eben Sefa, right. Now let's talk about Shaibu Tango, can we? We'll have on your screens now the stats of Shaibu Tango. He was showed the door, Amida's professionals. Now, this man has been in and out of it. We saw him at Media Morasi. He didn't have such a good story leaving there. He was also the assistant of Accra Hartsville. I mean, then at Accra Hartsville, an assistant there. And now getting into Amida's professionals. And he probably also has an issue with combining his job at the University of Education, Winneba, and maybe doing the job, because most of the guys say, well, you're not too sure because you have to be driving from the university and back, like he was doing, for instance, when he was with Amida's professionals. But the coach, upon leaving the club, said that he didn't want to allow anybody to interfere in his business. That's why he left.
I think off air, I told you that with Amida's, when you watch Amida's play, you'll be so sad to see their bench. Who is in control? The head coach is talking, the assistant coach is talking, the goalkeeper trainer is talking, even as to the extent of the equipment officer also directing the player to what to do on the field.
Oh, that's interesting. The equipment officer is also directing the players.
You understand? It's amazing because that means there's no order on the bench. And if there's no order on the bench, how can the players listen to the coach? How can the player understand the coach? How can the players do? Sometimes I could see their captain, Benjamin Atta, in the middle, throwing his hands because he's not happy about something. And it doesn't order well for the team. The game they play against Accra Suffolk at the Accra Sports Stadium, I don't put the blame on the coach. They have a glorious penalty. The referee refused to take it before Accra Suffolk took the lead. And I blame their goalkeeper.
Eric Entry is all over the place because he has been to the Under-20 World Cups and he's so confident.
And what I'm saying is that I don't. Was it because of the captain that they had on that day? No, it's unfortunate. A young goalkeeper who is coming up and decided to play like this. He was fumbling. Every ball that comes to him, he was fumbling. I don't know whether you understand.
Yeah, I watched the game.
And it was sad.
I watched the game. I was just wondering, he was just too erratic on the day.
They have the striker in the person of Nana Poku. When with Berekum Chelsea, he won the goal king. He went to Chelsea. Chelsea, I think he went to Egypt or something. He came back. They loaned him to AshGold. He's an experienced player. You watch him play inter-allies, and it was so marvelous to see that boy, how he can turn in and out of players. So and Coach Addo was like, wow, do you have such a player in the country? So but he was using his experience to play.
So are you saying that Coach Tanko didn't deserve to have been sacked?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that there's no order. And I think you just said that. He said that he doesn't want any interference.
That's right.
And I think that was what was going on over there. Because if a senior coach is on the touchline, directing affairs of the team, and maybe assistant coach also stays somewhere, we call it a player. And that is what is happening in our league. Most of the clubs have been doing that.
Just with that, let's now talk about Coach Bashir Hayford. And, this is a bittersweet story, isn't it? Because he did very well with the Black Princes. They qualified to the World Cup. But how about his club side? And this is a traditional team that hates losing at the Clay Stadium. It's a precious ground in Obuasi. And you cannot be losing games like losing to Bechem United by 2-0 and the likes, inter-allies all picking points at the Clay Stadium. Look, the fans there are so livid. This is the record so far. 4 losses, 2 draws, no win. And you just add that one to it just this weekend. He got the win this one.
It's amazing. Just last season or so, when he was with Mediama, I think he said something that there's no way a back tie will overtake the front tie. And that has been Bashir Hayford. With Kesbin, during the first round of the league, you could see Bashir Hayford exploring.
Then the second round.
The second round, something happened.
Okay, so is that I've also heard that Bashir Hayford is just the kind of coach who doesn't have the gas to go through the second round of the season. And it happens every year.
I don't know. It depends on how he changes his team. Or it depends on how the opposing teams also comes to face his teams that he has been with, especially AshGold now. Because I've watched AshGold about 3 or 4 times this second round, and they are not playing badly. They are not playing badly, and you could see the kind of players that they have. You'll be amazed. You ask a lot of questions. What is happening? And it is possible. I said it's divided attention. It got to a time he took the princess to Obuasi.
That's right.
Once we have Pram, we have Accra Sports, and we were playing our game here in Accra. But he took the team all the way to Obuasi. Why?
I understand it. So you mean that the concentration is not being solid, it's not being able to combine.
It's possible. It's possible. The concentration is not there. Divided attention. And I don't know what is happening with the management. I don't know whether they have monetary issues with the playing body or stuff. Do you understand? So that is what is happening.
All right, so that's the situation for Coach Bashir Hayford, isn't it? Now time to talk about Aduana Stars, and we have the coach out there, Bogdanovic. Well, Bogdanovic, I told you, he started quite well with Bechem United. He had some very wonderful wins until that all bizarre, surprising, shocking switch to Aduana Stars. Well, for the Bucks, the money was good, but loads of stories have come in while he's there for Aduana Stars. 3 losses, 2 draws, no win in 5 games. This is certainly unacceptable for the fans of Aduana Stars. If we're complaining about Coach J.E. Sapon's record, I don't know what they have to say about this. They probably have to be chasing him after every game like we're doing with J.E. Sapon. What is wrong with Bogdanovic now?
I asked myself, did he know the players of Aduana? From the goalkeeping to the last player in the team. Did he know them? I have a coach, or I know one of the coaches in the First Capital Plus League. Before he took over, he made sure that he had every information about the player in the team that he was going. The number of goals that each player has scored, the number of injuries that the player has had, the disciplinary aspect of the game, tactically is the player discipline or it's not, it's indiscipline. Did this coach know Aduana very well? And I've said it a time and again. You have a player like Gofesaka who commands a lot of respect.
I think you did analysis very well on Aduana Stars, and you said that he has to overhaul. So the coach doesn't know the players, that's it.
I don't think he knows them. I don't think so. Because he had a various things with Bechem, and that's kind of bizarre.
But how about this question? Do you see him getting sacked? Do you see him getting sacked anytime soon?
I'll be surprised. If our own coach Sapon was chased out of that place,
then
he resigned. I will not be surprised.
Bogdanovic, get ready. Okay, get ready.
There's a saying that coaches are hired and fired, so I will not be surprised.
Hired and fired. We'll be following the story closely. Let's now have the fixtures. We are not going to have any First Capital Plus Premier League games this weekend. The games are going to be on Wednesday, definitely. So now let's have the fixtures on your screen. We just have a look through it. And let's try and see what's going to be the toughest game. We know very well this weekend, Midyama SC will have an African assignment. And of course, the MTN FA Cup games will take the stage. Aduana Stars up against Faisal, Hearts of Oak up against Asante Gold. Coach, this will be very tasty. But how about Asante Kotoko up against Hearts Lions because of what happened in the first leg when Hearts Lions beat them and beat them very well. So let's quickly take this straight away. Let's talk about Hearts of Oak up against Asante Gold. Bashir Hayford up against Mohamed Polo. These 2 coaches are battered coaches.
Well, this particular encounter is going to be between the two teams, not the coaches.
Not the coaches. Why would you say that?
No,
tactics on the day.
No, it's not about not tactics.
Yeah.
The players need to improvise in this particular encounter.
If they want to win.
Because if you ask me, Accra folk go to the Accra Sports Stadium, it's going to be the 4-1-4-1 system. When you ask them, you are playing 4-4-2. There's no variation in the game. There's no variation.
They're very predictable.
Of course, yes. And I can easily give you the in and out of Accra as I sit here. I can do the same with AshGold. Right. They're coming in. Yes, the coaches will talk to them, and the players themselves will psych. They need to psych themselves.
Who do you see winning this particular game? Who do you see winning this game? I think a draw will go.
I'll not be surprised if AshGold can run away with a slim way.
We'll have a fixtures list on your screen again. We'll talk about Asante Kotoko up against Hearts Lions, Coach Yusuf Abubakar up against Didi Dramani, and these 2 coaches don't see eye to eye. Well, I don't know what happens in their circles, but I know they don't see eye to eye in terms of tactics and all. Now, Abubakar disciplined Asante Kotoko on the first leg by 2-0. What's going to happen this time out? Well,
if you look at Heart of Lions' performance in the second round of the First Capital Plus League, it's nothing to write home about. The new owner of the club, and the IB, I heard him talk, and he was saying that he is not impressed about the performance of of the team. Apart from playing so well against Liberty Professionals, the rest of the matches that they played,
they've
not been doing well. They are giving their game against Interlights. They had to struggle to come.
Would you give Kumasi Asante Kotoko 3 points in this game?
Yeah, Kotoko always feel comfortable at the Bavarian,
so they win this game.
But Lions has been there to beat them before.
Yes, that's it.
Lions has been there. That was then when I was working with the Heart of Lions. Lions has been there to beat them before. It's a game. Kotoko can lose. Kingfisher beat them at the Bavarian Sports Stadium. But I will not be surprised if Kotoko go away again with the 3 points.
Let's look at the fixture list again on your screen as we pick out the crucial games out there. So let's look at it again. Dwarfs up against Amidas Professionals, okay. It's a great game to look out for. But Wild Stars up against Midiama, the ever-improving Midiama. Let's talk about Wild Stars Midiama, and then we'll look at Hazakis and Bechem United. Then we can talk about my team, Interlights, up against Berekum Chelsea. Wild Stars Midiama, what do you expect in the game?
It's going to be a difficult
tough game. Jimmy Cobbler up against...
Carlos it's going to be difficult for both teams. Very, very, very difficult.
Will you pick a draw in this one?
No, there will definitely be a win.
You think who is going to win? Because you are going to what?
Midiama is going to win.
Let's leave it there. I'm not going to probe that one further. Now, Bechem United up against Hazakis, and they are going to Asipon.
Bechem is doing wonders in the Premier League.
They are. They picked some points on very difficult grounds.
Doing so well, going to Pando to play 2-2.
Going to Lenclay to pick
going to Lenclay, and Hazakis did very well. I don't know whether because of Coach Basigri, you see being with
the Black Queens.
The Black Queens because of time limit and stuff. Because their performance is descending, and per their striker Samalafo returning from the CHAN tournament, that boy has not been. I was told he was not been going to training. You know, per the players that return from the CHAN, when I take the likes of Paul Asari, De Vries, and Kwabena do say Michael Ekufu,
the rest are not playing well.
They are not, it's not about playing well. The attitude of players it has changed.
They think they are big bosses now?
It has changed.
They are bossing up.
It has changed because I've watched a couple of them play, and I asked myself, were these the players that were taken to the CHAN tournament who were killing themselves, who are doing so much well for everybody to see that, yes, they qualified to play in the CHAN team. But coming down, when I think the lack of Michael Ekufu, Kwabena do say, and then Paul Asari De Vries, more or less, Kennedy Boateng, but he's injured.
He's injured. We understand that, don't we?
Then I think.
Coach, let's talk about my club. Interlights up against Berekum Chelsea. I hope we're going to do this again. We're going to win this game. Will you bet against Interlights beating Berekum Chelsea in Tema?
I will not be surprised if Interlights wins because I've watched them, and as I told you earlier on, Coach Addo is doing a great job. Today I was telling one big man at the FA that look, Interlights may survive.
We are surviving. I'm not taking May from you on the show. I mean, we are surviving.
The point is that we are still playing.
Yes, but we survive.
No, initially people thought that
don't mind
in the local like but I'm telling you today that they may, because it depends on how they approach their games.
That's it.
And the inclusions of these boys from Burkina Faso, Mali, and then Senegal, they are playing so well that.
And you talk about Kasim as well. Prosper Kasim is doing a fantastic job as well.
He's my darling boy.
We're in there.
You understand? But it depends on what Chelsea does at Tema. And mind you, most of the Chelsea boys were playing there. The Atongos and the rest, and they have the likes of Loco, who has been with Tema Youth. And Amidas.
So it's a bit of inside job, isn't it?
So it's definitely going to be a cagey encounter. But I won't be surprised if the Alliance goes away with a slim win.
All right, so certainly that's it. We'll be looking at all these fixtures and everything that happens in the First Capital Plus Premier League. It's been fantastic having Coach Ibn Sifa here. Coach, when are you going to be joining a club and officially coaching a team so that we can also discuss you and have you on the screen?
I don't have a problem with that.
Oh, but
I am a full coach.
Oh, yeah.
And I said I'm a scout.
Okay.
And I'm doing my job as it is.
So if I offered you Interlights, will you take it?
Talk about it later.
All right, Coach Ibn Sifa, thank you very much for joining me on the show. My name is George Addo Jr. Thanks once again. Next week, Wednesday, we'll sit again and talk about this. It's the First Capital Plus Premier League show on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. Have a good night.